Mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysterious glow. Okay, thank you. Setting a proper motivation which makes a whole difference for all of us. Whatever little practice that we do on a daily basis, which consists of three parts: refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge field, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in space in front of us, as so loving, caring, and embracing. And for the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two grandparents, all of family members, including children, and all their messenger mixed with you, leaving them aside. And here you are the mother, and all others are like children. And the purpose of the practice is to awaken the Buddha energy within us, seed of perfection within us, seed of ultimate happiness within us. And to awaken this, we don't have to do anything besides remove the mental dirts so that the gold inside us will illuminate by itself. And to remove the mental defilements, we need to know the nature of the mental defilements so that we apply the right remedy. And knowing that there are two mental defilements, the gross one, referred to as afflictive obscurations, the presence which blocks us from attaining fearlessness, also referred to as nirvana, and the subtle one, referred to as the cognitive obscuration, the presence which blocks us from attaining Buddhahood. And knowing that all these mental defilements, somehow they're rooted or connected with self-grasping ignorance, and all the afflictive obscurations, either in the form of self-grasping ignorance or rooted to self-grasping ignorance, and the cognitive obscurations, they're connected. They're not rooted, but they're connected with the self-grasping ignorance. In short, all the defilements, they're either in the form of self-grasping ignorance or the connected with self-grasping ignorance. So therefore, the remedy lies in the wisdom to see the reality as it is. And the Buddha very clearly indicated that for the sentient beings, they wander in samsara, due to the failure to see the nature of the emptiness, the unborn nature, and the peaceful state of the reality of emptiness. And all the Buddhas, with great compassion, they establish this ultimate reality for sentient beings with numerous reasons. So our job is to awaken this Buddha nature by the resorting to the wisdom of emptiness. But this wisdom of emptiness, to what extent this can remove the mental defilements, is decided by the enthusiasm. What kind of enthusiasm you have, how strong, how consistent. And the best of enthusiasm is the bodhicitta. And to experience the bodhicitta, it must be triggered by incredibly great compassion. And to what extent you feel compassion towards others is also determined by what extent you understand samsara with respect to you. So in this regard, we need to have the sense of renunciation. So in all, we see that what constitutes a good Dhamma practice is to have renunciation, bodhicitta supported by great compassion, and the wisdom of emptiness. And these three supported by a very powerful single-pointed meditation. So this constitutes the real Dharma. And if whatever you do, whatever tradition that you follow, if you are in line with the encouraging these four things, you are in proper track. And if none of these four things are, if what you're doing has nothing to do with these four things, then you need to reconsider what you think you are doing as a Dharma practice. So with this mind, let's turn to page 3 and imagine that let's not forget that all the essential is joining us in this holy land, the land of the Buddhas and full awakening for the benefit of demonstration beings, and the Buddhas Bodhisattvas watching us. Page 3. And this is great compassion. You taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And this is great compassion. You taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And this is great compassion. You taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje jodo zoge jo nam loi chanju bardo dane yabzo che lage jinso kebe so nam ge dola benjere sanje dubare shu sanje jodo zoge jo nam loi chanju bardo dane yabzo che lage jinso kebe so nam ge Dola benjere sanje dubare shu sanje jodo zoge chonam loi chanjo bardo dane yabzo che dage jinso kebe sonam ge dola benjere sanje dubare shu. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all leads here is seeking pacific complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes or helping migrators achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue us expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers who guard and protect her, to you are my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light raised, to you the Buddha are my prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I in the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma he tu prabhavam he tum te sham datha gato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye sva. Om ye dharma he tu prabhavam he tum desham datha gato hyavatat desham jayo nirodha eva bhati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma he tu prabhavam he tum desham datha gato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha eva bhati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the Gracia. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light and non-composite, such is the nectar that Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond our trends, thought, and expression is a perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I be obeisance. The four seeds of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there's grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, Drishti, Sambal Hindu, yeah, come. Page 14. Praise to Buddha Shakyamuni. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the fourth destroyer, completely perfected, full of awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, know the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, subdue from Shaggy clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pace our seven strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you, otherwise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the three worlds, winner the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. The street like you, three worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, filled of merit with the qualities of vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one part, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show path of heart of liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, or devoted to more precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra, page 29. Heart Sutra, the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear one time. The Buddha was dwelling on the mass of Balcha's mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the bodhisattva concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the act with the profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara said this to Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly hold also as empty of inner nature. Form is empty, emptiness is a form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, discrimination, Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseen, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compensating factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object to touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element so on up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and cause. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in it 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment, reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mother of the perfection of wisdom, the mother of great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, sincere and not false. The mother of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Yatha Om Gade Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhisattva. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train the profound perfection of wisdom just like that. Then the Buddha rose from the concentration, commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you medicate it, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Sharitvati Putra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, those surrounded in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that is spoken by the Buddha. Deotha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Parasamgate Bodhi Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. By the teachings of three supreme jewels, besides the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Lama be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all jam is God with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, 8 verse of mind training, page 35. By Geshe Dorji Damdul, with the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negative and suffering, may hold them dear for as if I discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May quietly take upon myself all hers and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the sins of the eight mundane concerns, and may recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my two collections, vast as space have amassed, from working with that for this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds are blinded by ignorance. 7. Practice. Next page. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri. You, the Buddhas, lands amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms in the world, to all you Buddhas, visualize this real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas, numberless as particles. Each of them is a host of bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers in regal gardens, sweet music scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I bow to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfume, scented powder heaped high as Mount Meru. All wonders offering in spectacular array offered to victorious ones. With transcendent offering, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strong conviction that Buddhas are the way, offer and bow to all. With every harmful actions I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, overrun by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all this I openly lay before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request to you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, are not dedicated all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, material offering. Next page. This ground, adorned with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha filled and offered. All sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Saje Bege Joshe Mendo Tam Re Ram Le Shen Yen Dai Gyan Ba De Sanje Shen Do Me De Bu Ba Yin To Gun Nam Da Shen Lai Chu Ba Rai Shu. The four Dhammas Venerable Gambhava. May be blessed the mind is directed towards the Dharma. May be blessed the Dharma practice on proper path. May be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps with true existence. Please bless me with genuine renunciation. seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind from overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless you to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere. Please bless me that my mind from overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-dual bliss of emptiness. Edam Guru Rana Mandalagam Nirateya Amen. The foundation of all good qualities, the roadmap to enlightenment by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and the perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the road of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this birth is found only once, is clearly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly and not takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtues and non-virtues karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me to always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric experiences are unsatisfying and unreliable, seeking this a door to all suffering. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and Krishna. The root of the teaching is keeping the Buddha moksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so for all mother my created beings, please bless me to see this train in Supreme Bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing my greater beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve the enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distraction through objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate clearly in my mind stream the unified path of karma by inspection inside. Having been vessel by betraying the original path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme virtue of ego. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the true attainments is keeping vows and pure mind. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and place them in my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by pressing with great energy, never give up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teaching of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and spiritual friends who practice their long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all around the inner hindrances. In all my life is never separate from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing qualities of stages and paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajratara. You are a Balukuteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, a Manjushri master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Sangha crown, jewel of the sage of the land of snows, look on top by your feet and make prostrations. Mil me zhe te je re si te me ken be wan bo jang be yang han jen ke be zuo ye zuo ge ba lo san zha be xiang la zuo wa de ne me zhe je re si te me ken be wan bo jang be yang han jen ken be zuo ye zo ka ba lo sai ta be shab la so ba ne nu me ze te je re sim je me can be on bo jam be yang han je ke be Shabla Sovade. You are a Balukdeshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and by Bajishri, master of flawless wisdom. As well as Vajrapani disturb hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sage of the land of snows, those on top of your feet and make prostrations. Okay, next, generating the amount of consummate yoga. Tamje Ninjuga Simkeba. For this, 4 practices, followed by taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And first, single pointed meditation. Okay, since there are some of us who are new, otherwise most of you are already familiar with meditation. For those who are new, I'm quickly giving a very quick, short instruction. For this single point meditation, in the first place, meditation is a system to habituate mind in a virtuous object. A system to habituate your mind in a virtuous object. This is meditation. And I find all this meditation, they should be used for cleansing a mind of the mental defilements. For this, we need to know the nature of the mental defilements. Okay, keeping all these things aside, there's meditation which is of 2 kinds, single pointed meditation and the little meditation. What do you do now is the single pointed. For this 4 points you keep in mind, the body posture, number 1. Number 2, the focal point. Number 3, the areas of meditation. Then number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. 4, the body posture, cross-legged, backbone upright, head tilted for a little bit, eyes not closed, 45 degrees, the half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. And the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in the mouth, and the teeth and lips in the initial course. Right hand in your left hand, the tips of 2 thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the 2 hands in your lap in restful state, and the body should be upright. This is your body posture. Number 2, what is number 2? Focal point. What are you going to meditate on? 2 things. 1, just counting the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, cycle 1. Breathe in, breathe out, cycle 2. This is what we do. Just counting breath to avoid any other complicated practices like following the breath. Okay, entering your the right nostril, then passing through right nostril through the central channel, going down, and then going down, and then entering through the right channel. Likewise, parallel to that is from the left nostril going to the central channel, and the other way around. Go through the 2 side channels, going down from the bottom, enter through the central channel, again comes out, enter through the central. So these things are there. Avoid that for time being. Don't make it too complicated. And just count the breath. That's it. Breath in, breath out. Cycle 1, breath in, breath out. Cycle 2. This is what we're going to do. And then alongside or multitasking, parallel to count the breath, we also visualize a tiny white dot, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter, or if you want to make it a little bigger, 3 mm in diameter with nose and upper lip. Just visualize tiny dot while counting the breath. See if these two things can happen together. And some of you may have you are more who are more exposed to the Buddhist psychology. You may come across the question that how can these two things be done together? The mind operate only one thing at a time. So these are all different discussions. Just it's not true that it is not true of these the discussions or arguments. There's some basis there, but just ignore this for time being. If you're really interested, this requires more extensive study of Buddhist psychology, and I'll be happy to give these answers. For time being, actually, on a very gross level, it's very possible that two things can happen together, although, technically speaking, these are not really happening together. Don't worry. Okay, so that is a focal point. Verse number 3. Identifying the mistakes or the errors of meditation. What mistakes can we make? One is mental excitement, which is the overactivity of the mind. Your mind gets distracted, scattered. This is one mistake. And the one is the mental laxity, the sinking, mental heaviness, and the lethargy, and so forth. So these are two problems. If you identify that any of these two things happen, then go for number 4. What is number 4? Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. What remedies? Twofold: introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is to keep an eye on the mind to see what the mind is doing, whether it's actually meditating or in relaxed state or excited, scattered. If you see that it's scattered or in relaxed state, then pull the mind back to the intended object with the help of the mindfulness. Okay, ready? 5 minutes. Thank you. Now we'll do the four seals for renunciation. And renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, and emptiness, all three constitute the analytical meditation. Because this analytical meditation is more like guided, but when you do it on your own, then we have to learn how to do that by yourself, not having to rely on the instruction by somebody else. Once in a while, you can use the instruction of somebody else if that is helpful. If they find that you should be able to do it by oneself, on your own, without having to depend on the other instructions. For this, we need rich materials to reflect on. Okay. So as instructions given, just think, don't just think that just a ritual what he's saying. Not necessarily. Even instructions may change slightly here and there, and so therefore, what is suggestible is that as you listen to instructions, just see that okay, these are things that I need to keep in mind when I do my own analytical meditation. Okay, ready? Renunciation. Renunciation means renounce the miseries. It is not renounce your happiness, but renounce your miseries. To renounce miseries, we need to know how to renounce causes of the miseries. The Buddha taught, E dharma hetu prabhava, hetum desham tathagato hyavattat. We need to identify what the causes are, and then we can renounce these. So the causes Buddha identified, the several causes like contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance, which are Nagarjuna beautifully summarized in one verse in the Fundamental Wisdom Middle Way or Mula Madhyamika Karika text, chapter 18, when he said, ceasing of karmas afflictions is nirvana. Karmas afflictions arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. And this ignorance ceases, the elaboration ceases through the wisdom of emptiness. So we should be able to identify the cause of misery so well. And then at the root, the Buddha identified the ignorance was the root cause. And this ignorance, again, we see that there are many layers. The minimum 4 layers are identified. And what are they? Misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent, misconceiving miseries as happiness, misconceiving impure as pure, and misconceiving what is selfless nature as of selfhood. To eradicate this form, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. The first, all composite things impermanent. Composite things, things which are composed of directional parts or the temporal parts, they all should all necessarily be the impermanent nature. And this impermanent nature is of 2 kinds, gross and subtle. Gross one, impermanent phenomena whose continuum stops. And the subtle impermanence, the momentariness involved with all composite phenomena. So it's so crucial for us to reflect on the gross impermanence first. And once you get a good hold of what the gross impermanence is, and we feel that what we do in our life is so meaningful and so the peripheral and so superficial, then we can move to the subtler, the deeper reflection on this subtle impermanence. In our life, we have come across the people, and many of them have already left us. In fact, I remember somebody extremely thoughtfully, creatively designed this impermanent concept in the form of a train ride, which said that initially they're already in the train. On the train, there are some passengers, and then you get on the train, and you happen to be sitting with some of the passengers who already were there on the train before, and you have been very close to them, and they give you ideas what the train is like and so forth. And there are some other passengers also from before in the other compartments. So in your real life, so those people who are just there, who are sharing the same compartment with you, so these are your parents of this life. You're born there. They're already on the planet Earth. You're born there. And then new 2 or 3 people again join. They are like your siblings. Then after a while, the passengers who are already on the compartment in the train before you, they'll start to leave, and you are left. Your parents leave the world, and you are left. And then again, so in the process, there are so many people in the other compartments you are totally unaware of their existence. They also leave, new people come, leave, new people come. This is what the things happening in the other parts of the world. People die, born, die, born, and children are born, parents die, again children become parents, again children are born, parents die. This is how things cycle. And then one day it is your time to leave the train and to say bye-bye to the passengers inside. So that is you as a parents, you're going to leave, and then the passengers inside, they are your children. You say bye-bye to them, bid bye-bye to them, and then you leave. This is extremely powerful. The first time when I heard this, when I read it, is extremely powerful. It resonates so well with the impermanence of life. And at times, the separation of the impermanence is extremely scary, painful. And just imagine 200 years ago, people as young as you are, many younger than you, some same age as you, and many older than you, and the children who have so much of expectations for their life, career, so much, and the parents also they wish some good to come to the children. And now where are these people? Not even a single person is left today. That's a fact. I think around the independence, the year, about 200 million Indians. Now, like 1 billion Indians. So where are those, say there was like 60, 70 years ago, and then before that, like 100 years ago, 150 years ago, where are those people today? Not even a single person is left. And it's not that they are unfortunate, they are gone now. We are very fortunate ones, we are still living. No, it's a matter of time that after 150 years down the line in the future, not even a single person out of the 8 billion human beings will be survived then. All will be gone. And out of these, how many will be remembered? Only few will be remembered. Only few. Like His Holiness the Dalai Lama and some of the people will be remembered. Otherwise, we'll have no clue as to the people will even know that you once existed. So this is impermanence. The more we think about this, yes, in this life as well, your life will become very easy. You will not go into unnecessary indulgence, engagement. Then in future life as well, just by seeing something changing, the deep feeling of impermanence can hit you and give you a sense of urgency to follow the path of cleansing the mind of the mental defilements for a ultimate goodness. So from this is what the Buddha summarized as all what is gathered disperses, all what is accumulated exhausts, and all what is the all what stands fall, and all what is born dies. Incredibly great, really comprehensively, they summarize. This is a reality. So all these gross changes, obvious changes that we see which fall under the category of gross impermanence should necessarily be changing on a daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis, millisecond by millisecond basis. Yes, that's true. So, which means that your body is no exception, yourself is no exception. The pillars, the house, the food that we eat, the cars that we use, the airplanes that we use, and so forth, none of this is exception. They all fall in this category. Moment to moment, things are changing so fast. Just imagine that you are thrown into a very fast moving train. What do you feel? You could hear the sound of the train move so fast. But this sound, it gives you such a feeling of the fear. Why? We don't know where this train is taking us. And who decides where this train is taking us? It depends on the train driver. With the train driver's mother, no doubt she'll take us to the picnic spot. But if the train driver is the Either the terrorists or unsuspected terrorists, no doubt will take this train will take us to the slaughterhouse. In our case, they are we move so fast, which means the first moment changes to the second moment changes to the third moment, third to the fourth, so forth. So this fast moving these changes, from this we can see that what the result is, what the next moment is determined by the earlier moment. So in our case, earlier moment is our own mind. Our own mind is under the dictate of the two demons. Worst of contaminations, which is self-grasping ignorance, complemented by the self-centered attitude. As long as we are under this contamination of the self-grasping ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude, it only leads us to miseries, involuntary birth in samsara, endless tears in samsara, endless the experience of pains of the loss in near and dear and so forth. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are of suffering nature, and suffering is of three kinds: suffering, change, and pervasive conditions suffering. And one moment of such suffering is good enough, like the pain of losing near dear ones. Is one moment is good enough to nullify all the past beautiful moments, what we call as beautiful moments of celebrities, the celebrations, festivities, the merriments, birthday parties, Christmas, and so forth. All these moments of the merriments, they're just so shallow, hollow, gloomy, and totally senseless in the eyes of our him going through one moment of such tragedy of the losing near and dear ones. It is very true. So this is what the samsara is all about, to lure us to be trapped in samsara all the time, that we continue to shed tears, life after life, life after life, life after life. Yes. Okay. Is there a way out of this problem, to look for a permanent solution to these problems? Of course, yes. But it must be tackled by tackling the cause. Because all the miseries, the resultant states, they should necessarily come into being by the action of the causes. Unless until you tackle the causes, all your efforts will become at the most symptomatic treatment and not the treatment from the root. So what should we do now? So for this, we would identify the root cause of suffering. What is that? Self-grasping ignorance. How to get rid of this? By introducing the counter force, which is none other than the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, what is wisdom of emptiness? Let's quickly meditate on emptiness, which we did yesterday. They are under the Bodhi tree in the Bodhi temple. Okay, of course, we are still yet to be introduced to emptiness, but I'm going to give you the instruction which we did yesterday. And many of us, you already learned about emptiness. And for those who already learned about emptiness, this is going to be like revision for you. This is good. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is in meditative posture. And how does this person appear to you? The person who you identify as I appear to you. Is objective real, so defined, well defined there, or is purely coming from a mind, subjectively imputed? Yes, it's so solidly, so well defined there as I. This belief and the comprehension or the apprehension of the self as so objectively real, that is referred to as self-grasping ignorance. This is the root cause of all the miseries. Okay. How can I know that this is not a valid mind, instead to be recognized as ignorance? How? Remember what Nagarjuna taught in the precious garland. If the mirage were to be water, or not those close by the mirage see water. With a similar token reasoning, if this I would exist objectively, why don't I see this I as I go closer to this object? Going closer to object is known as subjecting this person to ultimate analysis. Subjecting this I, the person who identifies I, to the subject to the ultimate analysis, we just ignore all those things which are not self, because you're only interested in the objectively existing self. Okay. In the eyes of the ultimate analysis, first we come to a very thin layer of the skin. Of course, that is not this person. Behind that, the fatty tissues, muscles, cartilages, the whole skeleton, the heart, the lungs, the liver, pancreas, stomach, gallbladder, and so forth. In fact, none of these solid parts which constitute the element earth is to be identified as intrinsically as one with the self, which means that these are not to be identified as self with respect to ultimate analysis. Okay, the element of water, 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by the heart to different parts of the body. Of course, that is not me. Element fire, 2,600 joules of energy. Of course, that's me, not me. Element air, 99.99% of, sorry, the 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in out through your lungs. Of course, that is not me. Element of space, 99.99% of the body is space occupied between the nucleus and the electrons of an atom is way bigger than the space occupied by the individual elementary particles. What's left now? Element consciousness of the mind. Empirically speaking, I'm a male, I'm a female, but my mind does not have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. And also that people cannot see my mind, but still they can see me. So therefore, the mind is clearly not being the self. Okay, now, in the eyes of ultimate analysis, you are seeing 6 elements. Which of 6 elements to be identified as intrinsically one with the self? In other words, which of 6 elements to be identified as the self in our ultimate analysis? None of the 6 elements is the self. Okay. If the self doesn't exist as intrinsic one with the parts, 6 elements, see if it exists as intrinsic different from its parts. Keep aside all 6 elements, remove all 6 elements to see if there's a self existing as separate from these 6 elements. Doing so, we see that there's nothing left there to be identified as a self. Okay, that's true. So these are only 2 possibilities for the self exists objectively, if it does exist objectively. And given that both are ruled out, is the indication that the self by no means exists objectively. It's all coming from purely as a projection by message of mind. From the object, it's all empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Although it can be extremely gross, it doesn't matter. This is how we have to proceed through the practice or the training. Okay, good. So this is what the Buddha taught as everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. As a remedy, understand which is the remedy to overcome the root of the miseries. Oh, it is amazing. But how can we, in what way this meditation helps? It's so profound, but how does it help you? Yes, just as the self, when exposed to this ultimate analysis, we see that self is like real coming from your mind, projected by your mind, like a dream. Nothing really there exists objectively. Yes. In a similar token of the reasoning, if you employ or if you subject all your miseries, all your sorrows, all your mental disturbance, agitation, sadness, pains to the same analysis, we see that nothing can withstand this analysis. They all disappear. That's amazing. It is like unfolding the reality of the prank. The prank which the people they're playing the prank by creating the fear that the person is a ghost and you're so scared. And suddenly when you unveil the reality of the prank, you see that it's just your brother who is extremely loving, caring to you, and your fear dissolves. Likewise, all your miseries, when subjected to the same the exposure to the ultimate analysis, we see that they all disappear, to see that they're nothing existing objectively. When that happens, all your mental stress, disturbance, and sorrow disappears. When sorrow disappears, this is what the Buddha indicated as the 4th seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Transcend, meaning leave aside, jump to the higher level. That's the meaning of the transcending sorrow. So the Buddha taught transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Wow, that's amazing. just stay in this experience of the emptiness and generate a very strong wish to abide. One day may I be able to abide in this experience of emptiness in a non-superficial way, and that too with incredible great sense of confidence that all my miseries dissolve in this experience of emptiness, and the lightness of the peace dawns in the mind. This is realization, the aspiration to experience this wisdom emptiness in a in a great degree of confidence that all your miseries are transcended, or all miseries dissolved in this experience of emptiness. This is the true understanding of renunciation. All other explanations of renunciation, like, okay, renounce your miseries, you have to, you have to get rid of the miseries, you have to get rid of the self-grasping, and so forth. These all become like a more gross level of understanding of renunciation. The true, the real, fun understanding of renunciation is the desire to renounce all the miseries, or the aspiration to renounce all miseries by experiencing this emptiness where all the sorrows, miseries are transcended. Okay, just stay in this experience. May I experience this wisdom of emptiness where all my miseries dissolve in this emptiness, due to which the absolute peace of mind dawns within me. This is our understanding of renunciation. Good. Now, before we switch to Bodhicitta, let's take a few seconds break. Okay, ready? For the Bodhicitta practice, this is so important when you do this practice on your own. So, in fact, the since last many years, whenever I conduct these programs, people are very enthusiastic. People are so keen to take it forward in their life, to continue with this practice, and many people succeeded. I really appreciate. In fact, particularly to all these things ended with taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Watching moon practice, many people reported to me that since the Bodhicitta retreat, going back home, they never stopped doing it, even for a day. They continue doing this, and it's very inspiring. When I hear the comments, then I just feel so enthusiastic to conduct these programs. Otherwise, it's like now, say everybody's aging, including myself. I'm also aging. I feel tired, and then doing all this practice with the participants, and my personal practice to be done separately, and so but then when I see that people actually benefited, they continue to do this practice, they become more calm, and then there's so many beautiful feedbacks coming. Say even the family members, they notice that they have changed. They've changed. They're otherwise very aggressive, shouting, and but now become more cool, calm, composed. Extremely good feedbacks coming, very inspiring. So, why we are doing this morning practice is just for this purpose: how to design your lifelong practice, the manner in which we are doing these mornings. So, at one point when I was in the other retreats, I didn't really have the energy to do the morning practice with the group. Rather, I would do it on my own. And then here, Bodhicitta retreat, since the time at the airport, I see that all these very dedicated, committed people I met, and then I felt that it's my responsibility. I felt moral responsibility that that we do every day in the morning, that if others will learn how to do this practice. So once you know how to do this, the morning session, which takes about like 2 hours for us, but when you do it on your own, average maximum, it'll take like 40 minutes. And if you do, you can congest it. You can even condense it, make it like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And whereas if you want to make it really more elaborate, if you have time, then you can, like, it depends, like 1 hour to 2 hours. Initially, don't go for like 2 hours or 1 hour. I would highly suggest when in group, and however much it may take is fine. But on your own, when you're by yourself doing this practice, I would suggest start with like 20 to 25 minutes. Don't be too enthusiastic. Too enthusiastic is also not good. The Tibetan great masters say that too enthusiastic is the indication that you're going to leave the practice, say bye-bye to the practice altogether. This is Tibetan great master's expression. Okay, so with this mind, start with like 20 minutes. When in group, yes, you can take like 2 hours, 3 hours is fine. But when you're on your own, if you do spend too much time on this, you'll feel tired, and you will not know that you are tired. Because you don't feel the tiredness, because that there's a great enthusiasm there. So initial rigorous enthusiasm not too good. So initially, consistency more important than the rigor. Consistency with 20 minutes. Even if you don't have, if you think that you don't have 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, then even 5 minutes, but not less. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So all what we're doing here are I designed the three versions: short version, middle version, and the detailed version. And all these, if you are interested, you can take it from Sherry Pema. You have it. Sherry Pema kept all these the three versions so well. You can ask for a soft copy or hard copy, whatever you like. You can ask Sherry Pema. Raise hand, Sherry Pema. Okay, good. So just get it from her. So what is like 15 minutes practice, half an hour practice to like 1 hour practice. Okay. So what we're doing is for us to train ourselves, to prepare ourselves to design your own practice, daily practice. And then along with this, then if you go for some extensive studies alongside your work, job, business, whatever, if you do some consistent studies and this daily practice, I would say that, of course, it depends on individual to individual. But on average, I may say that in the first initial glance will take place within initial glance will take place within a few weeks or few months. Then more stable experience will start to come maybe in like 2 3 years time. More stable experience. Then the really stable experience will come only after like 10 years, where you can feel that okay, now I see this is a purpose of life. You become very confident. It'll take like minimum 10 years. Okay. But the thing is that, 10 is too long. Yes, it's long. It's not that easy, because we are trying to undo the chronic disease, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. These two are chronic diseases. And whereas the people who are generally kind, people who are generally more keen on the knowledge, for these people to gain the conviction, okay, now this is real dharma, so I don't really have to go to the very fancy rituals and so forth. Right now I know what real dharma is, right? So the for this conviction, it may take like 3 4 5 years, this conviction. And then the deeper experience will take longer time. But of course, it depends. For some people, it can be extremely fast. For rare, but not for too many. For rare number of people. Okay, ready? Bodhicitta. What we do is that since that the two methods are not introduced yet, we do that on the basis of the for immeasurables, immeasurable joy, immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable joy, and immeasurable equanimity, the form. And then we end with the Bodhicitta commitment, and then we take then the wisdom of emptiness, then we take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Okay, ready? So here, just follow the instructions. Don't try to correlate with what the instruction that you're getting now with what you learned before, what you read before. No, don't correlate. If at all you want to correlate, you can correlate later after completion of this practice. Okay, Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the aspiration or the altruistic aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of demon sentient beings, or in some other technical terms, is the Bodhicitta is the aspiration, altruistic aspiration to awaken your state of perfection within you in its complete form, in its purest form. For that matter, we require the practice of the four immeasurables as a preliminary practice. We're doing that. First, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and cause the happiness? May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The cause of happiness primarily consisting of the most fearless wisdom of emptiness and the most appealing mind of the Bodhicitta. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all these many years of the hardship of raising her children. Today, the eldest daughter, just age 12, eldest son, age 11, they come to the mother, telling the mother, Mother, please take rest. You've done everything for us. We're all grown up. We'll take care of all our siblings. The mother could not believe her eyes in years. This is exactly what has happened to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. They're extremely happy and proud of you for taking the responsibility of all the demonstrations on his shoulder. And this pride and happiness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they invoke the compassionate minds to ascend for the nectars of very soothing light towards you and all demonstration beings. The mere touch of the light nectars with the bodies of beings of yours instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all the demonstration beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering? The cause of suffering primarily consists of self-grasping ignorance when complemented by the self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, their intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to ascend for the nectars of soothing light towards you and all demonstration beings. Their mere touch with lights and nectars with the bodies of beings yours, washes of all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all the demonstration beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths out with relief. Immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear messenger beings are never separated from happiness and the cause of happiness they then doubt with? May all my dear messenger beings never be separated from happiness and the cause of happiness they then doubt with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear messenger beings are never separate from happiness and the cause of happiness they then doubt with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send for nectar of very soothing lights towards you and all dear messenger beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the body speaks to yours instills or stabilizes happiness and the cause of happiness of being sent out with. And you witnessing such a miracle happening towards all of the messenger beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths and with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear messenger beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear messenger beings equally with love and affection and embrace, leaving them aside. May all my dear messenger beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear messenger beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all dear messenger beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body speaks yours. Frees the beings from the biased attitude, excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demonstrations with equally with total love and affection, leaving that aside. And you've been listening to such a miracle is happening to us all the demonstration beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Underscoring all the 4 immeasurables is the unconditional love towards all the beings. Stay in this unconditional love. Imagine that you're looking at the eyes of each of the sentient beings to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. With folded hands, let us make a Bodhicitta commitment together. With folded hands, let's say this together with me. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. It's amazing. This is the motivation by which triggered the Buddha Prince Siddhartha to become a Buddha under the Bodhi tree here in this holy land of enlightenment. And we generate the same Bodhicitta now. Now slowly transform this beautiful mind of the Bodhicitta into a spotless clean moon disk horizontally sitting with the heart. Okay, this is amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. But remember that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that. I'm not like a handful of sand. Instead, I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which oil does come out of the Buddha nature within me. But how come that is not activated since time immemorial? Till now, that's true. Till date, I'm being deceived by the true demons, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. And today I'm going to do everything to exterminate the true demons. What am I going to do? I'm going to resort to a very powerful remedy. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. What is that like? Okay, let's quickly retrieve the experience with the emptiness, which you did as the third seal, as part of the four seals. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. And how does this person appear to you? As so objectively real, so solidly there, not like a dream, not that your mind is creating it. Okay, this belief, this apprehension of the self as object real is the self-grasping ignorance. This is the root of all the miseries. And how can I know that this is ignorance, that this is not a valid mind? Yes, to evaluate this, let's remember what our Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage would be water, why not those close but the mirage see water? If this self would exist objectively, why don't I see this object itself as I go closer to the object? Okay, now let us go closer to the object, technically referred to as ultimate analysis. Subjecting the self to ultimate analysis, we end up just in six elements: element earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Which now tell which of six elements is the to identify as the self as object real? None. See if there's a self-existent object real as different from these six elements. What do you see? None. So now you've come too close to the object. Where is the self which you earlier seen as object real? Where is the self which was seen as object real? With no way to be seen. It's just totally non-existent there in the eyes of ultimate analysis. It doesn't mean the self doesn't exist, but it doesn't exist objectively. It does exist subjectively. Objectively, it is totally empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean Vajra, thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the Bodhicitta heart. Okay. Now you're so fortunate that you've tamed the blaze of the non-dual bodhicitta, the two bodhicittas in a non-dual form. The moon, symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, the altruistic desire, altruistic aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. This guarantees that your self-centered attitude, one of the demons, which is self-centered attitude, is going to be exterminated completely. And the Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness with Arya Bodhisattvas. This guarantees that all the mental defilements, both afflictive and cognitive obscurations, will be eradicated. That's amazing. I'm so fortunate. But meanwhile, let's not forget your two parents, your children, all family members, all demon sentient beings are suffering. So look at the animals around. Look at the beggars around. Look at everyone. Everybody suffering. And look at all the creatures in the ocean. One is eating another one, and the other one is eating still another one. The big ones are eaten by the smaller ones in crowd, and the smaller ones are eaten by the big ones in the wilderness and in the oceans. Both extremely sad. How much fear that they have to go through. Yes. With this just generate very strong compassion towards all the demon sentient beings. And this compassion invokes the Vajrayana into your heart to multiply infinite number of times and share one set of Vajrayana at the heart of your mother, at the heart of father, at the heart of each one of family members, including children, and each one here in Bodhgaya, each one in your own country, each one in the entire universe. Everyone has this Vajramon which you shared with them. Amazing. They're so kind of you. Meanwhile, let's not forget that all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. They're so happy. Why not we invite all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the guests and also the witness to undertaking the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So as a gesture of making a request to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, let us slowly stand up along with all the sentient beings to make three prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Page 50. Okay, now that we all know the meaning already, I'm not going to explain the verses once more. Already you know the meaning. Let us, as we recite this wholeheartedly, reflect on meanings and see if something is invoked within your mind. So meanwhile, let us not forget to remember the visualization of the Buddha Shakyamuni, his Holiness Dalai Lama, and all the demonstrations with all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas with you, as also with blessings and inspiration for you, and all your demonstrations with you, for whom you are practicing the taking the Bodhisattva vow. And imagine that for the first time, you as a little girl, aged just 5, and you as a little boy, aged 5, for the first time, you are making a public appearance on behalf of your school, song competition, or whatever. And your parents are so happy, proud, whatever they have to do for that day, they leave them behind to join the audience, waving their hands to you, saying that we are so proud of you. And you as a little child, you are so inspired, you are so, your morale is more boosted by seeing your parents there. This is exactly what all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are feeling today. They're so happy, they're just giving full attention, and they give full attention to you. And you are so inspired, you encourage all your siblings with you, which are your dear sentient beings, to take this Bodhisattva vow. This is the hope for us to stop all our having to shed tears in samsara endlessly. So with this mind, let's recite the following verses together. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, just as the successful dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall let two successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, just as the successful dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall let two successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, just as the successful development of Bodhisattva practices, like was for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I will share a true successful train of Bodhisattva practices. Just feel the joy over having received the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. No doubt, it said that your virtues will multiply infinitely, exponentially, with the generation of Bodhicitta taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow as how we did. And just imagine that of all the gifts to be made to sentient beings, this is the greatest gift, and you gifted the beings with this. And of all the offerings that you can make to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the Buddha Shakyamuni very clearly indicated that the one moment of practicing compassion far excels the filling the whole universe with the gems, precious gems, and offering them to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. If this were to be the case, what I mentioned of our having taken the aspiration of Bodhisattva here, we are extremely, extremely, extremely meritorious, and today being able to make this enormous, incredible, the greatest of offerings to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And with the life, we see that this is the greatest of the meaning. This is the wisest thing that we can do. And today, you extracted such a meaning out of life, and you have given such a glow of the meaning of life. It's amazing. And all these wonders happening because of the Buddhas Bodhisattvas. And Buddhas Bodhisattvas, they feel extremely happy, like the parents, your mother, after all these many years of receiving completion from the school principal comes, and the congratulated the mother, and the mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. What for? Your son and your daughter, two of them are appointed as the best of the students for this year of the school. The mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. This is exactly what 7-year-old Buddhas Bodhisattva. They're so proud of what you did today. And this pride and happiness that all the Buddhas Bodhisattvas feel invoke the Vajramuni at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend and merge with the one that visualizes your heart. Likewise, like rain shower, they descend with the one that visualizes the heart of your mother, heart of the father, with that of each of the family members, each of including children, each of the sentient beings here in Bodhgaya, each of the sentient beings in your own country, in the world, in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe. Now, because of this, the Vajramuni that you shared with all the demonstration beings, they are being blessed, become non-dual, and stabilized because of the descent of the innumerable Vajramuni, the full-fledged Vajramuni from Buddhas Bodhisattvas. All these wonders are happening because of the blessings of Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Again, a suggestion of thanking them for this incredible meaning of life that you're able to extract today. They slowly stand up along with all demonstration beings to make true prostrations to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Let us turn to page 51. To connect with these precious teachings and practice even in future lifetimes, we recite the following verses together. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta even in the precious course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicitta even in the course of my life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life was born fruit, having well obtained this human existence. I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I'm born of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in heap rubbish, but like by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. Is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death, is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates the poverty of the world, is supreme medicine that quells the world's disease, is a root tree that shelters of all beings wandering entitled on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawning morn of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is the great sun that finally removes the mixed ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the terminal milk of Dharma. For all those ghosts traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the abundance of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and it will place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, and by the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight, may gods, demigods all be joyful. Direction prayer. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds in their prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the three times and to the beholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives through the fall this merit, never separate from the four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, Bodhicitta, perfect way in the two stages. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds become eyes blinded by ignorance. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. Three processions together.